Okay, hello YouTube, and this is going to be a video on what I'm going to call cause, demand, solution in the road, basically the road path to communism and fascism. And I think that's ultimately what you saw happen here today in Paris, France. I think what's happening is, quite frankly, I think that you see the radical Islam, you see the immigration, the unfiltered borderless almost immigration and border policies that France has and that Germany has, and by the way, they can't even see me in Germany. My channel's not even allowed in Germany. You can't even see me in Germany. That's what kind of police state they have there. Um, but you see that in France, Germany, and all you see that in France. You see that in France, Germany, and all across Europe, even England. So I think part of what's happening there is they allow for these people to come in there. They don't check them, by the way, and that's a negative thing for the immigrants, for the legal immigrants, the refugees, the people fleeing, because these same Islamic terrorists, these same ISIS members, they can always get involved with the immigrant. They can always pretend to be a refugee, and they can then immigrate into the country. And I think that's part of what's happening. And once they're there, they can then kill the fucking refugees. In fact, they fuck up the entire region, they corrupt, and they fuck up the entire thing. They make assimilation impossible because they tell all the other immigrants, hey, if you don't, you better not assimilate. You better not try to be a European. You're a Muslim, because if you try to assimilate, we're just going to kill you anyways. That's what they say to these people. So they make the assimilation of the actual refugees, they make it impossible. And then they go on to blow up shit and do things like we saw today. And they cause a much larger problem. They're subversive, and they cause a larger problem among the rest of them. And that's what we saw today in Paris, France. Now, here's what I think is happening. I don't think that a lot of people, I would say, neo-Nazis and a lot of imbeciles and some smart people have considered or said that this, or accused this as being white genocide, is trying to stamp out the white population. And I do see why some people might think that. And I do think it's a little bit unfair that not even in Europe can white people have a fucking majority white population. I think that that's kind of unfair. I don't think that if this was in Asia or Africa or anywhere else would you like it. Not even in Europe. I mean, you can't, it's like we come in here, when we came to America, we took this from the Indians. So it makes sense why you're telling us to shut the fuck up and let in other people. But they didn't do that in Europe. They've always been in Europe. So what the fuck do they have to, you get the point. But back to the point, I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think what it is these assholes in the governments in these countries who want a police state, and they already have ridiculous, draconian, and outdated laws. I think these same fucking assholes, these same people, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to bring about a police state. And I think what they want is a cause, demand, solution. They create the cause for this police state. They create a reason. They create the cause for the police state. They create a reason. That's radical Islamic immigration. They blow up things, they bomb things, they kill people. Oh God, we have to do something. So then there's the demand. We need more laws, we need more regulations, we need more government. Or if the people don't demand it, they don't do as much, or they don't put up a fight or try to stop it when the government does do it. So then the government supplies the solution. The solution, we're going to have more laws, we're going to have more regulations, we're going to have more gun control, we're going to have surveillance, we're going to, and then they can set up their communist or their Nazi or whatever type government, the police state they're trying to set up. And I think that's what I think that's ultimately what you're seeing happen, or what you're watching happen in Europe today, and across the world, and here. I've supported Trump in the past. There are things he said that I don't like. I don't feel like getting into the details of it. He has said some things I consider to be somewhat fascist, and you have to remember he has, in the past, taken a stance against gay marriage, not in abortion. So I have my problems with the man, and he's never come out in favor of marijuana. He said some very negative things, almost genocidal things against pedophiles. And I know that's not a popular group, and no one likes them. I don't like them. But you have to keep in mind, most of these people don't offend, and if they do offend, they're not violent. So, do they really deserve to die? I don't know about that. But back to the point. He wants to build up a fucking wall in the United States of America, basically. Now, here's the question you have to ask that no one will ask. Why does he really want to do that? Is he doing that to keep them out, or to keep you in? And here's the other thing about that. Here's the other big issue is, don't you think it's kind of odd that a billionaire who's made money ripping people off, and he's ran all these corporations, and he knows all these bankers and all these crooked fuckers, and he talks about how he himself flooded the political system with money and campaign donations to try to control the political process. Don't you think it's kind of odd that guy who until now has had no political opinion and has only cared about making money? Don't you think it's kind of odd that all of a sudden he comes out and tries to help everyone? If you've ever um, if you've ever heard of 1984, they supply a controlled opposition, a hero for the people that is controlled by the group, the government, and that guy was called Emmanuel Goldstein, whatever. And I think if you really look at this, I think you might be seeing I think you might be seeing Emmanuel Goldstein, the real version right now. I think you're seeing Emmanuel Goldstein, I think, when you see Donald Trump. He's the real version of that character. And that's what's happening. Now, I could be wrong. He might be a great president. And, of course, if you go with Hillary or whoever else, they're going to fuck us over. So, and I'm not a huge fan of Bernie Sanders either, but, you know, whatever. But that's just my video. I think this is a gateway or a path to tyranny, a path to fascism. And I think that if I was in France or any of these countries, I would stick up my middle finger and say, fuck no, you're the one who caused this. You let in all these immigrants to begin with. You let this bombing happen. Now you want more power and you can't do nothing as it is. You're not getting it. No, no way. Fuck that. And I would like to end this video with a quote by Benjamin Franklin. I think it was Benjamin Franklin. It might have been someone else. But those who choose security over freedom deserve neither. P666.